Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, Holland America's Rotterdam, their newest ship, has been having some issues lately with Norovirus, and now they have issues just getting docked at a cruise port. We also do have another report of Norovirus on a ship, and wait till you hear this one. It's really different compared to the one you're normally going to hear. We have Carnival Cruise Line coming out and saying, you know what, all those rumors about how to not have to pay for the drink package for everybody in your cabin, yeah, well, this one rumor, it's completely false. You'll want to hear about that before you go through a whole lot of trouble trying to get this document that won't do you any good anyway. And finally, NCL Bliss, yeah, it's had to cancel one cruise port and head back to port because it's having engine problems. So Holland America Rotterdam has had 2 norovirus outbreaks so far this year so far. You would think that's enough problems for some ships altogether. Well, the cruise ship was trying to dock in Costa Rica when high winds were putting a lot of stress on the ship, and people were sitting waiting in the theater for their shore excursions to be announced as they were waiting for the ship to dock so they could get off and enjoy the day. And they heard that the mooring lines were snapping on the cruise ships. Now, if you don't know what the mooring lines are those big long ropes that are holding the ship close to the dock while it's in port. And it can be very, very dangerous. If those lines snap going back to the ship, like they're traveling at over 800 miles an hour and can just snap a person's neck, etc. It can be absolutely deadly. If they snap the other way, if you're walking by them on the shore, they can be just as deadly. So keep that in mind when you're walking. If you're in high winds and you're walking near those mooring lines when you're getting off a ship, always keep an eye on them and don't stand directly in the line of the mooring line. Don't, like, there's the mooring line coming right down towards me, and if anything ever happened, it'd be right at you. It's not a good idea. Well, they were trying to dock and mooring lines were snapping, and they didn't want what happened to one cruise ship when a mooring line snapped and the gangway fell down, because they were looking at the gangways and they said the gangways have been moving back and forth. It became unsafe, so they pulled out. And then the captain did make an announcement saying, please don't go to the shore excursion desk right away. Don't flood it with a bunch of people, 3,000 people trying to get refunds for the shore excursions. They said it will be done automatically. And according to passengers, that's exactly what happened. People did not rush to get that done. So that was really great of all the Holland America passengers not to overwhelm that desk, and they would just automatically refund things. Next, we have the Seabourn Encore, and it's a ship that currently is one of those ultra luxury ships. It only holds 600 passengers. Currently, there's 461 on board, and they have 7 passengers that have norovirus. Okay, 7 passengers. That doesn't sound like very much. The flip side of that is they have 22 crew members out of 450 crew members, which is over 5% of the crew members have come down, which means that ship has to isolate 1/20th, 5% of their staff. And that means they're shorthanded 5% of their staff on this sailing on a cruise ship that's used to ultra luxury service. People demand service on these ships. There's not a lot else to do on these smaller ships, right? They don't have the big Broadway huge productions. It's all about the destination, the food, and the service. Well, they're down 5% of their staff on this current sailing. So it happens all over the place. But again, that's another norovirus outbreak. In March, we're up to 5. Yay, 5. Oh man. Finally, well, not finally, we have a couple more stories. We have Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador coming out and saying, you may have read some of these posts that are going on out there where Right now, if you're going on a Carnival cruise ship and you want the drink package, you have to be 21 years and older, and everybody in the cabin has to have it. So if you're sharing a cabin with, say, 3 people, so there's 4 of you in there, and only one of you want the drink package, and you're all over 21, they can't get the drink package. You all have to get the drink package. And there are rumors going around saying that, you know what, you can get a medical exemption saying because of allergies or something along those lines, you can't drink alcohol, and then you don't have to buy the Cheers package, and that's completely false. There is no medical documentation that says you do not have to drink for, like, as far as permission is concerned. You can absolutely have conditions that you cannot drink. However, that doesn't matter. You'll still have to decide whether you're going to purchase the drink package, say, for 2 people and one doesn't drink, or buy the drinks individually for the one person who is drinking. So yeah, that rumor about having the medical exemption, completely false. And then finally, let's talk about the NCL Bliss, which was on a Panama Canal cruise, and it's having some engine difficulties. It was on its way to Puerto Vallarta, and unfortunately they are not going to make that cruise port, that destination. They have to skip it because of also headwinds and a little bit rough seas. They are now heading back to LA, where they are apparently supposed to make at the right time. It's traveling at about 12 knots right now, which apparently is about the fastest the ship can make at its current speed with the engine problems it's having. No real details on what all the problem is with the engine, how long these problems could be. So if you're on the NCL Bliss on the next sailing, it could affect your next sailing as well out of LA. You might want to be aware of that. Now, NCL is doing some pretty good stuff. They gave everybody a $100 onboard credit to spend on the ship, to, plus canceling any shore excursions you purchased with them in Puerto Vallarta. So everybody on the ship's getting $100 onboard spending money. You have to spend it on the ship. It's not refundable. It's non-refundable. But they are also offering a 10% future cruise credit on your next booking, as long as you book it before December of 2026. Not this year, next year. So they're giving you lots of time to book your next cruise, 10% off your next sailing. I'll take it every single time. In fact, if you want to cancel one of my ports on all my sailings and give me 10% on my next sailing right now, I'll take the money. I'll take the money on most of these stops, unless it's a real bucket list stop like Antarctica or something like that. Then I'd be a little disappointed. Well, let me know in the comments down below. Have you ever seen a mooring line break? I've seen it once, and it was devastating. Like, it flew off, hit a chain link fence, and that fence just shattered when that mooring line hit it. Just as an example, just to give you an example of how hard those can hit. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.